So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
Ooh.
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can.
Welcome back, or welcome to Uncle ABL, on a jack of all trades, master of none when it comes to relationships and finance and nutrition. And today we got a video from the Poor Minds podcast in which the guest said something that set the internets on fire. This video has gone viral all over the place. You're talking about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. It's everywhere. And you heard what she said at the very beginning. If you don't make 50,000 US American paper, cold hard cash, digital, physical dollars, then you shouldn't date. Stay at the house, figure it out, then come back outside and try again. Now, of course, this message is toward the men, not the women. I'll talk about that detail a little bit more a little bit later. Now, before we get into the full video, I want to say that I actually agree with her. I agree. If you're a man and you don't make a certain amount of money, then dating shouldn't be a priority. However, I don't think that she is the proper messenger. She is the 1000% wrong messenger for this message. Now, there's a few reasons why I say that, but there's one really big one really giant one really enormous reason. And before I get to the elephant in the room, let's check out the full clip. This is a reaction video, so I will pause it at certain points to give my 2 cents. And without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
Ooh.
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Now, what she's saying is true. Courtship does cost. It really does. And I'm going to talk about some specific dollar amounts that I know from my personal experience in Atlanta, because I live not far away. I date in Atlanta. I know the scene. I know how much it costs, but we're going to get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is going to need a sip of something. She's going to be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe and now you got expendable cash. Or get.
Now, what she's saying is right. Okay, have expendable cash. That's a really key point to make, expendable cash. But again, there's an issue here with her preaching this message.
Cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel that's going to date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm going to tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're going to want to run, because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become.
Now, I don't like this whole thing about a woman can make you into what you're supposed to become. I don't believe in that, especially in today's day and age. Now, she was reasonable saying $50,000. If you don't make that, then don't date. A lot of women I've seen on podcasts lately say, hey, if you want to date me, you need to make $100,000 minimum. So she's being reasonable. But the problem is with either ideology about having money, having yourself together, is that they want you to already be that way. They don't want to rely upon potential. They don't want to come into a situation where you're not at your best and then make you get better. And they really can't do that anyway. It's up to you as a man. Speaking to the men now, it's up to you as a man to do that for yourself. And a lot of times that comes in isolation, not when you're trying to chase women. That's not when you get to be your best. But we'll keep on going.
She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Be cutting up. You talk about me.
So if you're making 50.
All right. So that's the video right there. And again, this is from the Poor Minds podcast. Drea and Lex, I'm a big fan of theirs. And the whole 85 South. Carlos Miller, DC Young Fly. Do not harass them. Do not harass this young lady. But we got to talk about what she said. Now, as I said from the beginning of the video, I actually agree with this. But she's the wrong messenger. And I'll explain. This should be a thing that men tell other men. It should be me, your unk. It should be me talking at you about this. Because I know what it takes to date, and I know what it is to be a man, focus on the wrong thing and having that kind of get in the way. You focus on chasing women and you're not having money, that's going to be a problem. If you're going on dates and you're squabbling over the appetizers and the drinks and how much it costs, you're not doing the right thing. You should take your energy and focus it on getting money. And then you should be able to go out there and date comfortably without having to squabble about small things. Let me tell you something, because she mentioned Atlanta, Georgia, and for her to be in Atlanta talking like that is crazy. And I'll explain why in a minute. I would say that a date is going to cost you bare minimum $75. Bare minimum. Really probably about $100 on the low end minimum. A dinner date, something like that. Now you can go do walks in the park and botanical garden and things of this nature, the museums. You could do stuff like that. But really, women don't even really like that kind of stuff unless they're kind of older women. Young women, they don't really like that kind of stuff for the most part. Not all the time, not all. For the most part, they want to go to a dinner date. Okay, 2 entrees, 2 drinks. That could easily be $100, and that's not even really stretching it. That's not going to an expensive spot. You want to go to Del Frisco, somewhere like that, you're going to spend $250. Do you have that kind of money? Can you do that kind of thing 3-4 times a week? That's going to really add up. So if money is a concern, then don't worry about trying to date until you get your money. Don't worry about trying to go on walking dates if you're broke, because if you're broke, your focus should be on making money, not even going on that walking date. It's free, yeah, but you're wasting time. How much time are you going to spend going on that date, on that coffee date, on that walking date? You're wasting time, and you don't have time if you don't have any money. But back to her being the wrong messenger. Women are going to hear her message, and they're going to think that, hey, you know what? She looks just like me, and she's my age. I can do what she's doing. But the problem is you can't. If you are overweight, and let's just be clear, I'm not trying to attack her, but it is what it is. You see what I see. You see what I see. Ain't no point in me trying to lie. She's overweight, and she's up there in age, probably in her 30s, maybe even closer to 40. This woman is not who we're going to pick. She's not going to be who we go for if we have our stuff together and we got money. So if you are a woman in that situation, don't listen to what she's saying. She's going to lead you down the wrong path. It's probably a guy that's just for you. You may look just like her, and this guy at work is loving on you every day, bringing you flowers and candy on Valentine's Day. He's trying to take you out. He has his stuff together. He may not be the guy that makes $100,000. He might make 50,000 or 45,000, but you're going to ignore him because of what she's talking about as far as the money requirement. You see what I'm saying? There's somebody out there for you, but don't block your blessings because you're listening to what she's talking about. When in reality, guys like me who date in Atlanta would never even go nowhere near her. We would never go nowhere. We got the money and we got the height, all of that. That's not going to be our pick. She might be a perfectly nice lady, a cool person, but dating wise, we're going to go for the younger, harder women. I'm right around 40 years old. I date women in Atlanta in their 20s. Yes, I do. Between 24 and 28. That's my age range. And I'll get into that a little bit more in a different video, why guys my age date younger. But as I close, I want to say this. Again, shout out to the Poor Minds Podcast. That is POURMINDS. Shout out to Drea Lex, the host. The guest, I don't know her name, but y'all go ahead and give them a subscribe. Do not harass them. Give them all positive, loving, glowing comments and talk about the context of what she said. I agree that if you are a man and you squabbling over appetizers and $10 here, $20 there, dating is not for you. Focus on getting your money. Don't even worry about women at all. I don't care if she's a woman that costs you nothing or a lot. Don't worry about any dating. Get your money up. And one thing that I've always been told, you can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you can't lose women chasing money. And that's pretty much all I got to say. And if you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace. Yeah, I know. No background. Background's loading. Brand new channel. We're getting the background together pretty soon. Y'all hang tight. And thank you again for watching. Subscribe to Uncle ABL. We got a whole lot more coming.